Pretty sure this game's pronounced Selve, and it's not a card game. So when you enter this game, you get plopped next to this like house, but it's absolutely nothing. I fucked around with it for like 3 minutes maybe, but it's absolutely nothing. So I started to follow a trail of what I thought were coconuts, and turned out to be sentient mud balls. After that, you meet a cat who asks you if you need to learn how to use your voice, which you have to use in order to ask him how to use it. Once you figure out how to use your voice anyway, you can then find out that this cat is insanely unobservant. I couldn't believe the shit I was reading. So I left him, heard a ridiculous sound effect, which for a game about music and sound was pretty surprising. That sounded like Looney Tunes or something. But you follow more coconuts and you find this big glass you can break. You just sing at it, and then you sing in the box, and the box opens and you get a dash. Once I realized there was some secrets to explore, I figured I'd look around for some more. I saw a neat-looking river and decided to see if I could swim or not. I couldn't. After an incredibly jarring death scene, I realized I was just stuck and had to restart. Talked to Cat, we grabbed the dash again. You can apparently hold the mud like a baby and sing to it. And now I'm finally gonna go talk to the big turtle. Look at how big and wobbly he is, he's so cute. I just want to squish him. It was pretty clear I glossed over some hint from some point in the game earlier. I tried for a while, but then I just gave up. The cat seemed like the only choice, so I went on back over to him. I kind of ignored him because of how dumb he was. I definitely didn't ask him how to use my voice because I had already figured that out in trying to talk to him. But within that dialogue, he tells you to wait a moment after singing, which will allow your melodies to register, basically. It also told me about a hint in a poem, but I'm not doing that. Back to the turtle. I'm guessing the poem told me what kind of melody to play for him, but I just kind of brute forced my way through, and he's loving my jams. When his lust for music has finally been satisfied, a magical Yu-Gi-Oh card appears from his forehead and gracefully floats down to you. But the music was too much for him, and it makes him vaporize into little pieces. Just a reminder for anybody coming to see me live, I will steal your trading cards and then make you explode. And then you find out it's not a Yu-Gi-Oh card, but like a song card. And when you flip it over on its back, it has a little melody for you to play. This is probably the part that took me the longest. I spent probably 5 to 10 minutes just trying out different combinations. I started with trying the 3 half notes. Maybe the full symbol meant a full note. Maybe it was meant to be read from bottom to top. I even tried singing to my mud, which didn't work, but if you sing the same melody to your mud, it becomes some kind of throwable grenade of some kind. I mean, how fucking cool is that? After messing around for a while, I went back to talk to the cat, and it turns out I was supposed to return to him with the card. I hate this fucking cat. But anyway, once I was allowed to sing the melody, my first try worked. And when I returned to the cat to see what he has to say for himself, he basically told me that's about all there is for you to do here, you can go home now. He did mention a couple birds, and I wandered around trying to find them, but I kind of just gave up. We have more than enough information for the analysis. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to touch on could just be destined for the trash can or placeholders in the meantime, but something could be helpful. Starting with the menus, it would definitely be best to add a windowed and windowed full screen option. I'll just Google it real quick and put it on screen because there's just a bunch of reasons, but I'm just here. I'm pretty sure in most games that I've played, the controls for the vocals would probably be on 1 through 8, and I just feel like I'd be more comfortable with it up there. I also like having my dash on left control, so really like it would just be nice if you could add the ability to change all those if we want to. This static map for the Fog of War just looks really messy and dirty when we could just use a black Fog of War. If we're only going to have 5 menu tabs, you might as well include the far left and the far right up in the corners up here. I'm guessing this building is for like our origin point and it'll be like our little story in there, But if it's not like the next update you're doing, it's probably better to just have us spawn down nearby the cat. And when we first go over to him, instead of having him introduce the domain like this, have him explain to us how to use our voice. Just make sure the count for if the player has been seen for the first time is done after the full script has been given, in case they cancel. When asking either where Doko is or what he likes, have the lemur be knowledgeable because we can see him from here. Or hide Doko either in the water or just in the air until the player approaches the shrine. The boing sound should really be more of like a thump. When we're representing things at such a large scale, they should really move slowly because they're so gigantic. It takes every movement so much longer. Imagine what the inverse is for how a fly sees us move. When they move this fast, it makes them look smaller than they should be represented as. And when we also consider that Doko is a tortoise, he should move even slower than other giants his size. This is 1/3 the original speed, by the way. But even making it at 66% speed makes him look significantly larger. There's 2 separate options with how to deal with the ending here. Either we don't have to return to the cat to use the card, or the only thing in the description for the card is to return to the cat. When we sing at the glass or at the chest, they just immediately open, and it's not very satisfying. It might not necessarily be realistic, but like let us feel the shake of our vibrato like pulsing through the object before it either explodes or opens. And I'm the first person who's gonna be down for a really crazy death scene, but this is way too much. This is a seizure and a mind melt all at once. I feel like the whole thing is just too much, so I don't even know where to begin talking about it. But you have to add an option to turn this thing off somehow. And probably like an epilepsy warning, like this is crazy. So this game was a really fun time, but also it's like brand new, like there's nothing really here yet. I'm excited to see what else they do though, and as always, if the developer or any other developers want a second run, just hit me up, you got my contacts already. And if anybody wants to try out the demo, it's free on Steam right now. The game again is Selve. Yeah. Bye.